one of our reference librarians. And I just want to thank you again for tuning in. And today we're joined by the Northwest Arkansas Audio Theater. They do live performances in the style of old radio plays, and today they will be performing Alice, No Place Like Tome, written and directed by Eden Miller with musical direction from Laurie Anderson. We hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome, everyone. Northwest Arkansas Audio Theater is pleased to present for your enjoyment Alice, No Place Like Tome. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Northwest Arkansas Audio Theater, NWAAT, is on the air. Audio theater is theater of the mind. Please silence your cell phones, sit back, close your eyes, and let the story creep in your ears. Or watch our actors, musicians, and sound effects artists tell the tale. This show is being presented without commercial interruption, so we are going to give you the only commercial first. All through the pandemic, while the need for blood to save lives has not diminished, the supply of blood has. We urge anyone who can spare some blood to donate to the Community Blood Center of the Ozarks on South Thompson Street in Springdale, Arkansas. Here's the jingle. CBC owns donations of blood, they need all types to see. Baby and known for most of the world, and the rare type baby. Blood gives us life, blood gives us hope, loving our neighbor best. When giving blood, we can be sure we'll too someday be blessed. CBCO is one way to help. Everyone needs help some, from people that we may never meet, to all our loved ones at home, to all our loved ones at home. Some of you may be wondering, when Oxford professor of mathematics, the Reverend Charles Dodgson, known to his reading public as Lewis Carroll, and to his youngest friends as Professor Dodo, wrote the story of Alice, No Place Like Tome. The answer is, he didn't, or at least not yet. Being, however, that his memory works both forwards and backwards, we are sure he will remember to get around to it eventually. We present him to you now to open the story. Please welcome, friends, Mr. Lewis Carroll.
Many thanks. I must say this is a most unusual and refreshing exercise. I've never had occasion to amplify my voice with electricity before, and I do hope it shan't be a shocking experience. Dear friends, Miss Alice is and was a friend of mine for many years. As you know, she was my inspiration for Alice Through the Looking Glass and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Because of her bright mind and immense curiosity in because I cannot always be there when she wants a story, I have collected for her some stories written by others. I think these tales will do for her what the greatest ones always do. Pull her in and get her involved. Let's hear what happens when she finds the book.
Oh, Dinah dear, whatever is the use of having school holidays if there is nothing to do? Lorena and Edith are off to see their own friends. It's raining cats and dogs here, so I cannot go out. And although you are a nice, dry, inside sort of cat, I simply haven't much conversation. Well, let's just cuddle up here on the window seat and watch the rain. Oh, what's this hard thing I'm sitting on? I don't remember seeing this book before. Alice's library? How can one book be a library? Let's look inside. There's an inscription to me.
Alice, this little book is for your delight. It lets you know that there are many wonderful storytellers in the world besides myself. Although I do hope that you will truly enter into each tale, say the title and the author's name out loud, in that order. If you find yourself wanting to leave a story, remember the word Mobius. This is the name of a colleague of mine who knows how to return from anywhere. The next time we are together, I shall show you how to make a Mobius strip, which has only one side and one edge and always returns to where it started. But for now, please choose a story. Happy reading.
How clever of him to think of this, and how kind. The book is just the right size to fit in my pocket, so I can carry it about with me. Now, let's look at the table of contents, shall we? This story looks intriguing. The Emperor's New Clothes by Mr. Hans Christian Andersen.
Hello! Oh, little girl, you weren't here a moment ago. Where did you come from?
Who said that? Was it you, Horse?
You're not as stupid as most humans I've met, which is saying a great deal. Most of them would not believe their own ears, just because the person talking with horse sense talking to them happened actually to be a horse. My name is Nagy, and I imagine yours is Alice.
Quite right, Nagy. How did you know that?
I read your books.
How could you do that?
Oh, never underestimate horsepower, Alice. Now, as to what's happening here, down the street and over to your left is the Emperor's Palace. For the last 4 months, 2 weaver tailors have been at enormous expense weaving and sewing what is supposed to be the world's most beautiful suit of clothes for His Majesty. It is also supposed to be extremely comfortable and impossible to wear. They say that no one who isn't brave and clever can see the suit, and no one outside the palace has seen it yet. That's why all these people and horse carts are standing around waiting. The Emperor is about to lead a parade through the city so that everyone can see it, or at least they can see it if they are brave and clever, I suppose.
What if they can't see it?
If they can't, do you think they would be brave and clever enough to admit it? Oh, look, the parade is about to begin.
Oh my! That man with the crown on his head must be the Emperor. But why isn't he wearing anything else?
Oh, so you can't see the suit, Alice. Hmm? Not a thread, border, or button?
Not a stitch, Nagy. Well, he is, thank goodness, wearing his royal undergarment. But that is quite unbecoming and anything but beautiful.
As I thought, Alice, you do have horse sense. Although, if I were you, I would quietly leave this place before his finds out that anyone who is brave and clever knows his royal imbecility was too stupid to know he was being fooled. I imagine those rascally tailors are already over the nearest border with their payment of real gold in hand, and their heads still firmly attached to their necks.
Thank you for looking out for me, Nagy. I wish my dear cat Dinah would talk to me the way you do. It gets rather lonely when my sisters are away or when we three are out of sorts with one another.
Cats are too clever to talk to humans, unless they are Cheshire cats who can vanish whenever they please. It's high time for you to vanish, Alice. The Emperor's guards are coming right this way.
Thanks, Nagy. Goodbye. Mobius. It works. I'm back. Now, how can a man lucky enough to be an emperor have been so proud or stupid that he couldn't admit not being able to see the beautiful suit? What else did Hans Christian Andersen write?
Mr. Anderson wrote over 200 original fairy tales, like The Little Mermaid, The Ugly Duckling, The Princess and the Pea, and Thumbelina. His stories have been translated from his native Danish into languages read all over the world. You can certainly read more by him, but for now, why don't you try an English author?
Good idea, Professor Dodo. Thank you. This looks interesting. I hope it has talking animals too. How the Camel Got His Hump, from the Just So Stories by Mr. Rudyard Kipling.
That's it. Lower that date poem into its place slowly. Don't. Is it? Are you here to help me put this oasis together, little girl?
Well, no, not exactly. I'm Alice, and you are?
I am the djinn in charge of all the deserts. The world is so new and all, and a rush job at that, so we have to finish the final details. Don't you animals know the difference among dates, coconuts, and banana palms? Let's do it right the first time, dadgummit.
It looks like you don't have very much of a crew. I see a dog, a horse, and an ox.
You're right. Somebody is missing. No wonder we're behind. No, no, no. Plant the flowers last. Not now.
Boss! Boss! Boss!
Well, speak up, dog. What is it?
Boss! There's another beast out in the desert with long legs and a strong back. We told him it was time to work, but he just said humph and went away. He won't fetch and carry, right, horse?
Right! He just grazes on acacia and thorns, and he won't trot, lope, or gallop. He just says humph and wanders away. Right, Ox?
Yes, and he won't pull. That wagon of yours is about broken my back. Pulling it by myself. But all he ever does is say, humph.
He does. That sounds like my camel. If he won't work, that's longer hours for all of you.
Oh no, boss! Say it ain't so.
We work too hard. Too much already.
It's not fair.
But I think I can take care of him. Humph. Huh? I'll teach him to humph. Come on, Alice, let's go find him. Hold my cloak and we'll go by desert wind. You three, back to work.
Look, Master Jin, isn't that He looks a little odd though. His back is flat.
That's my camel, all right. I'll give him a chance to do the right thing. What's this I hear about you refusing to help with the work, with the world so new and all?
Humph! No one ever asked me if I wanted to work, when all I need to do is graze for my living. Humph!
You were made big and strong and quick so you can work, you ungrateful creature. You need to be a lot more polite to the boss, too. That would be me, the djinn in charge of all the deserts, in case of any doubt in your so-called mind. Bubbles, I want you to work.
Humph! There's nothing in it for me, so you can just go and bully those other creatures instead. Now go away. Humph!
I wouldn't say that one more time if I were you.
Humph! Humph! Humph!
That does it. Humph, you say? Humph you shall have.
What is this great big lump?
That, my camelaceous friend, is the humph you wished upon yourself by not working, not listening, and not being polite. With that, you can work for days without having to take time to graze. You'll have to work some long days to catch up to the others. Now go work. And don't say humph again unless you want to find out what happens if I really get annoyed.
Okay, boss, I'm going.
Will a camel ever learn to behave?
Oh, I doubt it. He'll work all right, but he'll always grumble every step of the way. Well, Miss Alice, do you want to watch more of the construction work? Nothing much exciting will happen around here until we find out how the elephant got his trunk, and how the rhinoceros got his skin, and I have an oasis to finish.
Thank you, Master Jin. I hope it turns out to be the most beautiful oasis ever. Goodbye, Mobius.
In his Just So stories, Alice, you'll find that Mr. Kipling's sense of nonsense is almost as acute as mine. Later, you might like his jungle books, given you are interested in animals who can talk with each other. Meanwhile, the next is a little closer to home. This English author, Beatrix Potter, not only wrote her own stories, but drew the pictures as well.
The Tale of Peter Rabbit. There are pictures in this one. Here's a rabbit wearing a jacket and shoes, but no vest or suit coat. And he's brown, not white. Why am I not in the story yet? Oh yes, title and author. The Tale of Peter Rabbit by Miss Beatrix Potter.
Hey, you two had best put at least half of these blackberries in the basket. We promised Mother.
Oh, Cottontail, fess up. You've eaten at least half of what you picked, just like us.
Mopsy, Cottontail has a point. After all, Mother thinks we are the good little bunnies. Do you want her to start watching us the way she watches Peter? Because he's always getting into trouble. I'll bet he went straight to Mr. McGregor's garden just because she told us not to.
Oh, he's a pain, like all brothers. But I do hope he doesn't have the same kind of accident Daddy had. You know, Mother said Daddy was put into a pie by Mrs. McGregor. Ooh.
It is very trying at times to be a rabbit. Look at all the villains who want to eat us. Humans, cats, crows, weasels.
Hello there, bunny rabbits. Oh, wait, please, I shan't hurt you. Please, I promise. I only want to talk with you.
How do we know you can be trusted? You're human, aren't you?
Well, yes, but aside from that, I'm just a little girl, like you three. Mayn't I help you pick blackberries?
Foxy, it's 3 of us to 1 of her if necessary. If she helps, we'll get to eat blackberries and the basket will still be full. Yes, you may help if you don't eat any berries yourself.
That's hardly fair, is it?
Oh, let her eat some. A few. Look, she can't help being human.
Thank you ever so much. Wait, as I came near you, you were speaking of someone named Peter and Mr. McGregor's garden?
Oh, yes. The garden is the most wonderful place in the world with the most delicious vegetables a rabbit could want. Carrots and radishes and spinach and parsley.
But that dreadful, stingy Mr. McGregor doesn't let any rabbit get near those vegetables if he can help it. In fact, he eats any of us he can catch.
And Peter is gone there, you think? Isn't Peter in danger then? Shouldn't we try to help him?
Oh, but Mother told us not to go there. We don't want to be in trouble. Besides, what could we do?
Well, maybe there isn't anything you could do. But maybe my being a human isn't such a bad thing after all. I'll meet you girls in a few minutes with Peter, just outside the garden gate. Oh, I say, Mr. McGregor, pray you have
Would you want to make a pet of a pesky bit of vermin like a rabbit? There's a little brown rascal in this garden somewhere who's been nibbling everything in sight. When I catch him, he's going in a pie with potatoes and carrots and onions, and his jacket and shoes will be a good start on a scarecrow.
Oh, that's my Peter Rabbit, all right. I just can't keep him in cunning little clothes. Little mischief. If you'll just let me find him and take him home, I promise he'll never bother your garden again. Please? Pretty please?
Oh, now drat, child. I can't stay mad when a little girl so like my granddaughter says, please. All right, get him out of here. Mind, if he ever comes back and I catch him, then nobody's begging will save him.
Oh, I do understand, Mr. McGregor. Thank you so awfully much. Peter! Peter Rabbit! It's time to go home to your mother. Your sisters, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail are out here waiting for you. I'm opening the gate. There he goes. You're welcome.
Doesn't look like you'll get much thanks out of that one. Best of luck to you, child.
And to you, Mr. McGregor. Enjoy your vegetables. Goodness, some stories have danger and even death in them. Not like the Queen of Hearts in Wonderland, who was always ordering executions, which never got done. Then again, she was only a playing card after all. Professor Dodo used to call Wonderland a type of fairyland. I wonder if there are any stories in this book about other fairylands. Maybe even some with real fairies.
Alice, take a look at the next item for that. Sir James M. Barrie was a Scot who lived in books and plays in London. It was written a little after my time, but by remembering forward, I can give this fairyland to you. It's called the Neverland, by the way.
You're right. It doesn't look familiar. But I can't resist the chance to meet some actual flittering, fluttering, flying fairies. Here we go. Peter Pan and Wendy by Mr. James M. Barrie.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh,
So much fun.
Toodles and Nibs, we need more firewood and yams and coconuts. Slightly, twins, we're all out of roast pig. Go kill one.
Wendy, Mother, can't Toodles and Nibs kill the pig this time? Oh, I hate to drag the thing back here, take the insides out, put it in the hole with the fire, then drag it back out when it's all hot and greasy.
Slightly. You know you like eating the roast pig more than anyone. Besides, Peter Pan told you to do what I asked. Here I am, cooking and mending and cleaning for you lost boys all the day and half the night. You wanted a mother. Peter brought you one. The least you can do is help feed yourselves. What is it, Toodles, dear?
if you don't mind, Mother, I'll switch with Slightly and help the twins to kill that pig for you. I don't want our mother to be sad because she can't have a dead pig.
Toodles, you're my most helpful child. Very well. Switch jobs with Slightly and send John and Michael back here to the underground home when you see them.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Excuse me, please. Wendy, my name is Alice. I haven't been in the Neverland before. No more than my age, if that. Surely you can't really be the mother of those boys.
Hello, Alice. You're right. I'm not nearly grown up enough to really be their mother, but you see, they don't have a real mother. John and Michael and I have a real mother and a real father back in England. They will be there waiting for us when we get back, whenever that is.
But why are you here? Why is this place called the Neverland?
Well, Peter Pan, he's the boy who never grows up, you know, brought us here so the lost boys could have a mother to care for them and tell them stories. Actually, Alice, you do know the Neverland yourself. It's the place in every child where you go between waking and sleeping. But every child's Neverland is a little different, although we can share them sometimes. And wonderful Peter Pan is in all of them. And there are pirates, and red Indians, and wild beasts, mostly lions and tigers and bears and mermaids and fairies and
Fairies?
creatures that are...
Oh, I've always wanted to meet and play with real life fairies. Are there any right around here?
Well, yes, there are, for all the good it does. They don't really talk or play with anyone but Peter. The cheekiest one is Tinkerbell, who goes everywhere with Peter. She's even cheekier than those snippy mermaids who splash the water on me with their tails. Ouch! Tinkerbell, it is rude to... of you to pull my hair. I shall tell Peter if you do it again.
Was that her talking? Oh, what did she say?
She said, silly ass. Oh, but if she is here, Peter can't be far behind. I must hurry.
Hello, Wendy. Who's this? Another mother? Never mind. Quick, Wendy, we need the boys at Mermaid's Cove at once. Where are they?
They're all out gathering food and fuel right now. Peter, what's wrong?
The pirates have captured Princess Tiger Lily. They're going to leave her tied up and helpless in Mermaid's Cove, where the tide is coming in. We must rescue her. We mustn't let her drown.
But, Peter, how could they capture her? You told me she is the best of all the Red Indian warriors, able to outfight any 10 opponents.
She is, but there were 11 pirates. We can't wait for the boys to get back, Wendy. You'll have to put down all that silly mending and let's go flying.
Wait, Wendy, you can fly? How can that be?
Fairy dust in my training. There isn't much time to teach you, whoever you are. Wendy, let's go.
I'll be right there. Alice, I'm sorry to leave you here all alone. It isn't very safe with all the wild beasts about, but the boys will be back any minute, I hope. Oh, watch out for the pirates, too. Some of them might be coming here. Goodbye.
Goodness, all the adventurers pile up on one another in the Neverland. Well, now isn't it a good thing that one can always come back to a book? Right now looks to be a very good time to go home. Mobius! Goodness gracious! Adventures are wonderful, but sometimes it would be a good thing to have companions along to help when the going gets rough. I wonder.
Alice, the next part of the book has a good many stories about people and places of a fairyland called Oz. These will be written by different people, the first several by Lyman Frank Baum, the first successful American children's book author. I have a mission for you, to complete the happy ending of the 7th book, The Patchwork Girl of Oz.
Complete the happy ending?
Yes. You see, all of the people and creatures in the story, after trials, travails, and travels, got to have their lives made better by the end. However, there is one creature, a live phonograph, who was last seen running away crying because no one wanted to listen to his music, and none of the others had any sympathy for him.
What is a phonograph? How can I help?
Well, you'll find out the first when you meet him. For the second, when you do, give him the disc that's in your pocket. Before you say the title and author, turn to the page in the story close to the end where everyone is in the palace of Queen Ozma of Oz in the Emerald City. Tell your mission. Last seen somewhere in Munchkinland.
Very well, Professor Dodo. I'll do my best. Let's see. That's the right page. Now, The Patchwork Girl of Oz by L. Frank Baum. My stars! What an absolutely beautiful place. Everything is made out of marble and fine woods and beautiful cloth and decorated with emeralds. And, oh, excuse me, Your Majesty. You must be Queen Ozma, the ruler of Oz, I presume?
Indeed, Miss Alice. Although we do not usually encourage people to drop in because we want to keep the kingdom peaceful, you are welcome in Oz. Glinda the Good, Sorceress of Oz, has read in her book about you and told me why you have come. We approve of your quest to help the phonograph. You shall have as companions the people who have met the rambling phonograph before or who know Munchkin Land best. Stand forth, Ojo the unlucky, now the lucky, the Shaggy Man, the Scarecrow, and Scraps, the Patchwork Girl of Oz. Have any of you any questions before you start this mission?
Ma'am, I was told to get this disc to the rambling phonograph. Is that all right?
Wizard of Oz, Wizard, has your training with Glinda the Good in being a true wizard progressed far enough that you can attest that this object is harmless?
Just ma'am. Miss Alice, hold out the disc while I examine them with my magic spectacles. Majesty, this object is not only harmless, it could be very beneficial. However, with your permission, I would like to be a member of this party to ensure that the disc is used correctly.
Very well, Wizard. Make it so. Anyone else? Oh, yes, Ojo?
Miss Ozma, ma'am, why do we have to help the rambling phonograph? It was only brought to life by accident by the used-to-be crooked magician and has been nothing but a noisy nuisance ever since. Wouldn't everyone be better off if it were just broken into bits and silenced?
Yes, all its music was just absolutely horrible. None of us could stand it. If all the music the phonograph plays were really real music, it would surely amaze. But really bad music is like really bad weather. Nobody likes it, alone or together.
Ma'am, I have to agree with Ojo and Miss Scraps here. That machine's music was enough to curdle your ears and rattle your bones.
Ojo, you are very young. It is often hard for children to imagine how others feel. Miss Scraps, in reviewing the list of brain furniture you were given before you were brought to life by the crooked magician to be a servant to his wife, I see that you were never given any sympathy or empathy. Shaggy, we happen to know that you could have shown more kindness to the phonograph as well. And you are grown up enough to know this. This quest may help all of you grow in wisdom and kindness, we may hope. And be prepared to tell us what you have learned. You are ready to start, are you not?
Yes,
Yes,
Your
Majesty.
Oh,
What is so special about this yellow brick road, Sir Wizard?
Every country in Oz, the Gilligan Land in the north, the Quadling in the south, the Winky in the west, and the Munchkin in the east, all have a branch of the yellow brick road leading to and from the Emerald City in the middle.
How do you know which way to go?
Well, if you run out of yellow brick road and you're not in the Emerald City, you are going the other way. As we know, we need to go to Munchkin Land. We will follow the road through areas where all the houses and most of the trees are blue.
Like my outfit. I wear all blue because I was born in Munchkin Land. So was the Scarecrow and Patches the Scrapbook Girl.
But the crooked magician's wife made my body out of gorgeous patchwork quilt. So I've got every color instead of just boring old blue. A favorite color is good. This is true. Each land has a favorite. The Munchkins is blue. I won't tire of my favorite in spring or in fall. All my colors are favorites because I've got them all.
Miss Alice and I have never seen or heard the rambling photograph. How are we going to find it?
That's a good question, Master Scarecrow. And what is a phonograph?
It's a magic machine to help you keep music. It's like keeping words in a book, except the music is kept on a record cylinder or a disc, and the machine whenever you want it. So even if you cannot sing or play for yourself, you can have any kind of music there is. This is something you can remember forward for later in your life, Miss Alice, when you might have a phonograph of your own.
Being able to keep music? What a wonderful idea! I can hardly wait to meet the phonograph.
I can wait. None of its music is fit to listen to.
And it won't stop trying to play that so-called music, whether anybody wants to hear it or not.
That is something we're going to help him with, Shaggy. It's not it. Queen Ozma says he is a person, not an object. We need to show him some respect.
If you say so, Sir Wizard. Miss Scraps, didn't it, or he, tell us he had a name?
Oh, yes, it was Victor Columbia Edison. Vic for short. The phonograph's name was too long for its size. To shorten it up was both useful. Keep him from a musical trick. We simply could holler, "Get out of here, Vic!"
Miss Scraps, honey, we're here to help him, remember? We could call out the phonograph's name as we walk. If he's in hearing distance, maybe he'll find us.
I don't know, Scarecrow. The last time we saw Vic, I had just said he would be splinters if he didn't hush up or go away. He went away real fast. He probably wouldn't come near us again.
Not unless he needs us, or we need him. Shaggy, didn't you say that somewhere along this road the trap plants captured Ojo and Miss Scraps?
Yeah, and Shaggy saved us by singing to the plants, so they relaxed and let us go.
I'm getting an idea. Let's start singing as we walk and keep a watch out for the trap plants.
And we go marching on.
I think you may be making your point, Mr. Wizard. I love to sing, but singing for hours wears me out. The trap plants are not very far ahead of us, Sir Wizard. What's the next part of the plan?
For the moment, keep your voices down and listen. Victor the phonograph is hiding in the woods just beyond the trap plants. If we let ourselves be caught, he play his music to set us free, and we can reward his valor by giving him the new disc and inviting him to the Emerald City.
But suppose he doesn't play, or what he plays doesn't work.
Mr. Wizard, and being caught by those plants is shivery scary. You can't move, you can't hear, you can't see. If I could breathe, I would wonder if I still could. Oh, to be trapped in the dark with nothing to hear or to feel or to see makes my heart full of fear. When you can't even move, not the teeniest kick. It's a nightmare when waking. The thought makes me sick.
Well, that just means we have to be sure of being rescued. Miss Alice, what if you and Sir Wizard stay here beyond the reach of the plants, just in case? Shaggy, why don't you stay with Ojo so he won't be alone when you're caught? And I'll stay with the gorgeous Miss Scraps.
Oh, I won't be so scared if I'm with you, Strozzy. Thank you.
Master Scarecrow, it sounds like you and Sir Wizard have thought of everything. Working together, we can do this.
I agree, Miss Alice. After all this is over, I shall recommend to Queen Ozma that the trap plants get removed and replanted at the edge of the deadly desert around Oz, where they cannot harm anyone who's supposed to be here. Now, if we're all ready, Shaggy, Ojo, Scarecrow, and Scraps, walk forward through the plants. Talking's all right, but no singing. And no whistling either, Miss Scraps.
Oh, you hear that, Shaggy Man? No whistling.
I promise. Very well. Onward, friends.
Oh, Sir Wizard, that was frightening to watch. Even though we can rescue them if Victor doesn't, right?
Look, here he comes out of the woods now. Help! Help! Our friends have been caught by the trap plants. We need music to set them free. How can we get some music? Can you make music, good sir? Can you help?
I will try to help your friend, sir, if you promise not to hurt me. I am Victor the Phonograph. I can play the music I have. It may work, even though nobody likes it. Shall I try the classical, the ragtime, or the popular tune?
Which one did people dislike least, Victor?
The classical. Folks just shouted at me over that one. They didn't kick me or throw things.
Let it be the classical then. We promise not to hurt you, even if it doesn't work.
Thank you, kind sir. Here goes.
Look, the trap plants are trembling and shaking. They're opening. Oh, our friends are free. Victor, keep playing until they're out of danger.
Yes, yes, if the priest comes to an end.
Oh no! Some of you wanted to take me apart when we met before. I just saved you. Please don't hurt me. I'll go away quietly.
Wait, Victor. I'm sorry. I should have known you can't help it that the music you were given is really awful.
Yeah, and I should have let you come with us on our earlier quest. You're just as important as anybody else. It's just, we can't listen to that stuff all the time.
Not everybody likes the same music. And not everybody likes to listen to any music all the time. But we have something which will make Victor a better musician and a better companion.
You're going to help me practice?
Not exactly. Now, first, I'm going to repair all of your dents and scratches and make sure your case is firmly attached to your table.
Wow. I feel better than I have since I left the factory. Thank you, Sir Wizard.
And then, Miss Alice is going to give you this magic disc.
Allow me, Miss Alice.
What is it?
It's a magic record, Victor. With this one record, you can play any music anyone asks for as long as somebody wants it. That way, you'll be popular no matter where you go.
Speaking of which, Queen Ozma of Oz has invited the city. Choose.
And I can play any kind of music? Somebody give me a request, quick!
Something classical.
Amazing! That's actually great. How about some ragtime?
Better and better. Now I love ragtime. Let's have something popular.
Wait till the sun shines merrily, when the clouds go drifting by. We will be happy, merry, don't you sigh. Down Lover's Lane we'll wander, sweethearts, you and I. If you will wait till the sun shines merry, by and by.
Oh, that's as much fun as my poetry. Almost. Victor, let's be friends. Oh, friends can share company, music, and verse. Lifetimes, better or worse. For the ills of the world, we can all share amends. For all of the good times, there's nothing beats friends.
Yes, let's all be friends. Well, I think it's time we head back to the Emerald City. Queen Ozma will be waiting.
I can't wait to meet her. Which way to the Emerald City?
The other way to the other way. Right?
Quite right, Ojo.
Coming, Mr. Wizard?
In a minute. Straws, you all get started. Miss Alice?
Yes, I know, Sir Wizard. The quest is finished. The phonograph has its happy ending. All of you live here in Oz, but I don't. I should go home now. But may I please come back to
You have the thanks of Oz, and you may always return. Now, do you need any help getting home?
No, sir. Thank you. Professor Dodo gave me some personal magic for that.
Ah, give Professor Dodo our best regard, and tell him it's been far too long since he visited Oz. We miss him. Farewell, Miss Alice.
I should have known. Farewell, Sir Wizard. Mobius.
Welcome back, Alice.
Professor Dodo, you're really here. I want to thank you so much for giving me the adventures in this book. Of course, I'll always like the stories you tell us best.
Stories made up on the spot are quite wonderful, but they vanish into the air and are gone unless you remember. A book is a way to remember perfectly.
But each time I read again something I've read before, it is different.
Well, that's because you are different, Alice. You've grown between times. Now, you've had your nose in that book all afternoon. Isn't it time to go out and play? See, the sun is shining.
And I can come back to the book another day. Tina, Lorena, and Edith will be home any minute. Let's go meet them at the door. See you soon, Professor.
And I would like to assure you wonderful people of the Northwest Arkansas Audio Theater audience that adventures are waiting for you too in these books that Alice tasted today, and ever so many more. Your local public library can help you find them. And don't forget to tell your own stories. Everybody has something to share.
Thank you, Professor Lewis Carroll, for sharing with us today. Now, on behalf of
Laurie Anderson,
Debbie Barnes,
Julia Rakowski,
Miranda Berger,
John Crochet,
Karen Gossett,
Tim Herron.
Michael Hooper.
Eden Miller, Northwest Arkansas Audio Theater bids you farewell until next time.